wasn't even 2 years ago. America was filled with such hope. The first black president seemed to symbolize a culmination of civil rights and all the other movements that had seemingly transformed American society. But the real politic was more sobering. A black man became president of the United States only when it was official that the presidency was an empty symbol. Worse for Barack Obama, he arrived on the scene just in time to be left holding the bag for the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. He also inherited 2 wars, an openly hostile corporate media, and a Supreme Court waging class war on the citizenry. In 2008, there was a spontaneous uprising against the crash and the Wall Street bailout. Americans were justifiably angered that the financial classes who crashed the economy had their asses saved by taxpayer dollars. But that movement was soon co-opted by corporate money and became the Tea Party. Endless cash and think tank messaging refocused the anger away from Wall Street and towards the first black president. Thus, the leader that should have symbolized the overcoming of the prejudice and hate that had filled American history, instead, along with Muslims and Mexicans, became the scapegoat for its greed. In the Citizens United decision, the Supreme Court ruled corporations have the same free speech rights as people. This decision has allowed corporations to shovel money at the Tea Party during the recent midterm elections. As might be expected, Obama's Democrats took a beating. The Tea Party and their financial backers succeeded in vilifying him, although he really hasn't done anything. Tea Party candidates ran on the same simplistic corporation-friendly platform that Rob Ford used to win the Toronto mayoral race: cut taxes and shrink the government. The US midterms were a culmination of the slow-motion coup d'etat that's taken place over the last 30 years. America isn't a democracy anymore. It's a participatory, totalitarian state. There is anger brewing at the reality that it doesn't matter who you vote for anymore, but that anger is being used to discredit the whole system. Democracy will soon be portrayed as weak, disorderly, and ineffectual. Then the charade of voting will lose its value to the corporate classes, and some plain-speaking, charismatic leader will do away with it altogether. Of course, when the illusion of democracy is no longer required, naked oppression shall become the order of the day, like at the G20. There might have been a true grassroots movement against the fascism of the financiers, but what the Supreme Court and the corporate class whipped up is a network of proto-fascist cells poised to become the brown shirts of the coming plutocratic putsch. So what's going to happen in Canada, you ask? Well, think of Canada as Austria in The Sound of Music. Currently, our quisling government is laying the foundation for deep integration, criminalizing dissent, building prison, and expanding police forces, despite the fact that crime is on the decline. So do your Nuremberg duty and resist while you still can. Or make like Julie Andrews and head for the hills. In Toronto, I'm Humberto da Silva, not Rex Murphy.